Hello, this is Geoff with In-Depth Studies. We are looking at the Gospel of Mark, chapter 7, verse 8. In the context is Jesus is responding to the Pharisees and teachers of the law. And they are asking Jesus a question in verse 5. Why don't your disciples live according to the tradition of the elders instead of eating their food with defiled hands? And ultimately, Jesus responds in verse 8. This is the verse we want to look at. You have let go of the commands of God and are holding on to human traditions. So the commands of God, of course, for us would be the law of Christ, the version of law that we are under in the New Covenant era from Pentecost to the Second Coming. And of course, that's what we're supposed to live by. That's how we know how to glorify God. But the traditions of men, and these creep up, and after a while, they become almost like law. I mean, one example of those would be the dedication of infants. And I love kids. We have 4 of them and 13 grandkids, and to commit them to the Lord as a believing parent, we would do that all the time. But as a ceremony, which has no basis in Scripture, there is a ceremony in the Mosaic law requiring sacrifices, but that is very, very different. But in the New Covenant era, under the law of Christ, there is no law that tells us this is what we ought to do. This has become sort of a quasi-sacrament or ordinance, depending on how you view it. But it is a warning. We must clearly differentiate between the commands of God and the traditions of men. And the traditions of men have no authority over us. We are committed to obey the commands of God. So if this has been helpful, check out Geoff's Thoughts on YouTube.com, and there you can subscribe to them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.